Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm not in the best condition right now, but I'm still very grateful to be able to show up and just pursue my work. And I want to read some of the things I've written down over the past couple of days. As long as you're thinking the thoughts that vibrate at the frequency of the life you're trying to create, you're on the right path. But I think also you need to learn how to create thought with action instead of just always your mind. I think the way we break habits is with our bodies, not our mind. You have ideas of, doing this and that, but you need to create these opportunities with your body and not your mind. And I feel like something that I'm kind of like trying to learn or like trying to navigate is just doing things with my body instead of my mind. Like, I think I have all the right ideas and I definitely have the right mindset in what I'm trying to do and where I'm trying to go. But now it's more so about putting these things into practice with body and not mind. You really need to reflect and think about what you're doing throughout your days. Sometimes we let weeks fly by, months fly by, and then you reflect, you look back, and you're like, whoa, time's flying by, and you're still the same person, and your routine is pretty much still lackluster and you're not fulfilled. So I think what you can do is just affirm to yourself that you're taking over control of your days starting today. Stop letting weeks fly by without producing any meaningful work. You have to have this yin and yang balance of consuming and producing and putting out work and meaningful work, work that resonates with who you are and where you're going and where you want to go. You need to move that energy that's stagnant in your body, and you need to find ways to really just show up for yourself in your routine. Something I've said in another video is that, the more love I pour into myself is the more love I can pour into others. So just find ways to do things you're gravitated towards, and usually people can, look back into their childhood and, you'll find something that you liked it or, found interesting, and then you just grew apart from it as you grew older for no apparent reason, but, you know, just be curious like a child and have faith like a child and, just take action like an adult. Life is so beautiful when you add meaning to it. Life is beautiful even without meaning. Not everything needs meaning, but I definitely think your personal life needs meaning. Don't add meaning to things that don't need meaning, like what someone else is doing in their life, or who's doing this, who's doing what. Like, I feel like social media is a definitely one of those places where you could easily get lost. Sometimes we get caught up in selling ourselves to the world that, we forget that we are human, and, that you need to re energize, and that sometimes, this social media could be a little too unnatural. Like, I feel like if you ever find yourself in that place where you're like maybe obsessing with, the statistics or the validation that the world may send your way, take a step back and realize that, we weren't meant to have this level of exposure to, the internet. A quote that I used to admire in the past was by Prince, and he said, it's cool to use the computer, but don't let the computer use you. So I feel like if you're running a little, too wild throughout your day to day, find ways to just step back and, take a moment and pause, breathe a little bit. Me myself, I'm not someone who's really big on social media. I definitely have a TikTok, but I feel like every social media platform that I use is to create some kind of community. It's not really to consume. TikTok's it's a little bit different because I do like the memes here and there, but I try to find a good balance, and maybe the balance is leaning more to consuming. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm definitely trying to find ways to just take a step back, like I said, and just reconsider like how I'm using my time. You can say you want to get better. You can think this all day, but if you're not breaking routine with your body, you will not get anywhere. You will end up in the same place with the same mindset of hoping to be better one day. But if you are not taking action with your body and realizing that your routine isn't getting you anywhere, I say these things not only to encourage you to be different, but to encourage myself to be even more different. Sometimes I do struggle with this myself. I find myself on a really good streak of just showing up for my practices, showing up in my meditation, showing up in my breath work, showing up in my journal, showing up in the gym, showing up in grounding, showing up in self regulation, and then I'll fumble as well. I'll get lost in, my day to day. I'll get lost in my phone. I'll get lost in social media. I'll get lost in all these things. And, I'm learning to recognize that these things don't serve me. So, how do I break the habit of just constantly showing up in that place or in a place where I don't want to be? And it's by moving your body out of these places. And, if the foam is something that isn't necessarily a place, just put it down, walk away. Change rooms, leave your phone in a different room, put it in a drawer, set a timer to get off your phone, get outside, go on a walk. Find ways to just, move your body and, don't get so caught up in this idea that you need to be attached to your phone or your phone needs to be at your hip every single day. Um, if you struggle with other things that are on your phone, like I said, just try and find ways to um, do things with your body instead of your mind. If there's something you don't want to do, don't lead your body to that place. Don't lead your body to doing that thing. It's not don't do this. It's try not to move like that. Try something else. Our control is all in our bodies. So you can tell yourself don't do this, do this. But if you really want to do something and if you really want to change your life, you need to change the way you move. You can think all you want and you can affirm all you want, but at the end of the day, our actions show us what our true intentions are. And if your body is moving towards places you don't want to be, or your body is doing things that you don't want to do, then this is the truth of how you want to live. And if you don't like the world you're living in, you need to move different so you can manifest differently. You need to be patient and you need to show up when it matters. We all deal with struggles and we all deal with temptation, but at the end of the day, if you want to create a life worth living, you need to move like life is worth living. Ask the universe and you shall receive, but you must move towards these things that you are asking for. You cannot ask the universe for something and then turn your back on it and then pursue all the things that have gotten you nowhere. Your routine will drain you if you allow your routine to be draining. If you want your routine to be revitalizing, if you want your routine to ground you, if you want your routine to spiritually align you, you need to be the difference in your routine. So focus on where you are and not where you want to be. Focus on the qualities of the person you want to be and focus on the work they do. And sooner or later, you'll receive the thing that they receive. I want to remind you that I'm also still doing the work. I'm not a perfect man. And, I still struggle with a lot of the things that I talk about. And, one of those things that I'm trying to put into practice is 100% just breaking routine with action, not thought. You feel me? I have these ideas of changing my routine, and you know, the way things are planned out is like first you'll have an idea to do something, and then you'll have a thought, and that thought will encourage action. So like I'm in that action phase, and after taking action for a while, action will create opportunities. And um, I'm not sure if I said this in one of my other videos, but like eventually preparation will meet opportunity. So, you need to be prepared for the life you want because eventually you're going to get the opportunity to have that life and you need to be ready. So, I'm trying to take action over my days. I'm trying to take action over my routine so that eventually I can get to a place where, preparation does meet opportunity. I speak so bigly. I dream so vividly about a life where I can be resourceful in a way that isn't self sabotaging. And, I really just want to encourage myself to just continue to pursue this dream. I think I'm doing the right things and, I'm slowly making progress. And, this is really all I want. Over the course of, 6 months, you can really become a new person. You can, build on current beliefs and, you can strengthen your beliefs and, you can work towards, this new identity that you really want for yourself. So, like I said, it's a work in progress. I'm still, working on it, but these are things that I'm learning along the way, and I feel the need to just share this with some people, save some people some time, and just remind some people that, like, yes, you can think positively, yes, you can say all the right things in your mind, but like at the end of the day, it comes to what you do with your body. So your body's really telling you everything you want in life. Whatever your body feels called to, the first thing you do when you wake up, the first thing you do before you go to bed, it's really just your body telling you what kind of routine you want. So just be mindful of that. If your body's not doing the things you want it to do throughout your day, you feel me, you need to rethink, and well, not rethink, but remove move differently, and eventually life will unfold in such a beautiful way. And it's a strong belief of mine, and I'm gonna continue to show up, do the work, and just move differently. And life, it's pretty chill right now. I'm just vibing. I'm just really chill, like I said. And I'm just trying to move differently, so life could look different. And it's gonna take a while. It won't take long for action to catch up to me. I definitely think that if you can see it in your mind, and you pursue it, it will happen. So I'm just gonna give this thing time, and just water it every day, and just be consistent, and just one day I'll see the fruits of my labor. That's a strong belief of mine, and I won't let that go.